would, like, if I had something that I wanted to say right away, I would just say that first. And I actually do, but I just, it's one of those things where I'm kind of doing this stream when I don't want to. Like, I'm kind of really not in the mood to do this right now, but it's just I haven't updated you guys in forever, and I want to do that. So I'm gonna go upstairs and change, but I'm just gonna quickly recap. Um, um, because it has indeed been an eventful days. Although I don't want to talk too loud in here because um, I'm just muting visuals for a second. But I can't talk too loud because my dad's putting my little brother to bed and he is not in a good mood, and I'll tell you why. Well, I don't exactly know why. Um, but, so, you know what? I'll just tell you. So, it's my mom's birthday today, and I am not sure. I am not sure if that had something to do with it, but I think it did. So, but I've been. Hold on, I'm gonna go back down. It's my mom's birthday, so wish her a happy birthday. Um, so, like, I don't really know what was going on, but I guess my dad and my mom had some sort of argument. Like, so, I had woken up once again earlier than I thought I would. Last couple times, it's mainly just I don't know. Um, I think the funny thing is I think my alarms are actually working right now. Like I think this morning my my technique of using like multiple alarms seems like it's actually been working. But other times I think um a few nights like a few like over the last couple nights I have just had moments where I've just been so tired that I've gone up early. Like um like that's how it was last night. I'm gonna turn on the fan. Because I remember last time I did this, I got pretty hot. So, um, but yeah, honestly, mostly over the last few nights, maybe there was like 1 or 2 nights that I did actually stay down here a while, but um, I think most of a good portion of this week, I've just been so tired at the end of the day. Often in like the final minutes when mom and Chris are down here, I'll just be like falling asleep. So honestly, most of the time, most of these last couple of days, I've actually just gone up. Um, Usually the latest like midnight. So, but so I woke up at I think I woke up at like 11 or 12 something, and I kind of just laid around for a while. Which this is actually what I did yesterday morning too. I kind of just laid around for a bit and watched videos on my phone. And then I got up, and then I showered. And then after I showered, I briefly went downstairs to get some snacks because last couple of days Lauren's been watching on the TV. She's been watching X Files again. So I've just gone down, gotten food, and then gotten back up, and then come back up. So I do that, and then I'm upstairs until about like 4 or 5 something, and I come down, and I see mom making stuff for dinner, which I didn't think she was gonna do because it's her birthday, and she has flat out said that she's not making stuff for dinner when it's her birthday, which I don't blame her at all. Like I would do the same thing. But I was like, "Oh, it's your birthday. Why are you making stuff?" And she's all she said to me was, "Well, Lauren made this stuff, but Dad's being an asshole." Like that's actually what she said to me. And mom seems a little grumpy and dad seems a little grumpy. So I don't know what happened. By what mom told me, it sounds like it has something to do with the dinner. Like maybe dad was gonna make the dinner and he refused. I don't know. I don't know what brought the argument on, but they had some sort of argument when I wasn't there. So I mean, I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I wasn't there when it happened. I'm so glad. I'm really glad that I didn't get caught up in it. Um, because I was thinking of coming downstairs a little earlier. So I'm glad that I did not get caught up in it. But I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened at all. Um, but that's really been the only really relevant thing that's happened today. That's interesting. We didn't even do mom's cake today either. I think we're probably gonna. She was saying probably tomorrow. Um, but yeah. So um, and then I do have my journal, and I decided to bring it down, and I'll just do my journal entry downstairs, um, and then I'll bring it back up at the end of the day. A couple days I did forget a couple days, but I did fill in the entries, um, and that's basically how I've been doing them. And I've also written what pencil I used as well. So um, I think the last day I did a video was July 4th. I think it was. July 4th, Indian restaurant. So I could have sworn I did a video after July 4th. Hold on, guys. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I mean, I will say that I do feel like the last few weeks have taken forever to go by. Like we've done a lot of stuff over the last couple of weeks, so I think that's part of it. Um, we've just done so much stuff. The days feel slower, and also because we're doing a lot of stuff, I've been up earlier, so the days feel like they're twice as long. Um, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like I keep thinking like I could have sworn I did a video after July 4th. but maybe it didn't. Um, Although I will say, yeah, July 4th, we went to Rogner Park. Dad went along, and then I think I mentioned all that stuff. Um, and then on July 4th, after we had gotten Starbucks and came back home, we went back to the gas station and got stuff, and then Rogner Park. And then later on July 4th at night, we walked around to see if we could see anyone doing any fireworks. Because I think Lauren went out to a show, like a fireworks show thing. Of course she did. She always has to one up it. Um, but we were kind of walking around the neighborhood later at night to see if anyone was doing any fireworks, and it was kind of fun. It was just mom, Chris, and I. I don't know. It was kind of fun. I had also shown Chris all three of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, so we had been watching those as well. Nothing really happened on the 5th. Um, and then on the 6th, we walked in a park by a river, which I think it's the Isaac Evans Park. I think it's called. It's the ones with the two zip lines, and he actually got to go on those this time. Um, and yeah, we did a walk kind of over there, and then Chris convinced mom to get 7-Eleven again. So we got 7-Eleven, we got slushies and stuff from 7-Eleven again. We have had, I think this has been like a record for convenience store trips over the last like week or so. Um, and then the other cool thing about July 7th or July 6th was we had gone to Hagen at the end because mom wanted to get bananas, and I checked the Coinstar and I got a really cool Coinstar find. I intentionally tried not to look at it much because I'm saving all of my Coinstar finds and change finds and coins I get from my family members. I'm intentionally saving all of it to hunt when I do another one of those change videos, and I'm also doing something different where I'm kind of making a Coinstar compilation and a hunt in one video. Like, I'm gonna include the clips of I'm gonna save all the clips, but I'm gonna include them while I'm doing the hunt. So, it's gonna be kind of an experiment, like something I've never done before. But it's gonna combine two types of videos that I used to do: the Coinstar compilations and the actual footage of me hunting. Now, I one way of editing the video when I do it that I was thinking of is whenever I like show a certain coin and I mention it, I cut the video and include the clip that it's from, but I just feel like that'll require a lot of editing. So, but obviously, if I don't do it that way, um, and I just show either the hunt first or the Coinstar clips first, I don't know what I want to show first. I think I'm going to show. I think if I do end up just including, not like splitting up the hunt and the Coinstar clips, I think I'm going to include the Coinstar clips after. Because the Coinstar clips are still interesting enough, even if I've already showed the coin in the hunt. But yeah, so when we went to Hagen, there was a 1948. Um, it was a UK coin. I can't remember if it. I think it was a florin, one florin. And I got so excited for a second because I thought it was silver, but then I was remembering that in the UK they stopped doing silver for those coins like really early on. Like I think 1946 was the last year they made silver for those. So unfortunately, it's not silver, but it is a 1948 coin from the UK. So that is a really awesome. That was a really awesome find. Um, I don't know. I'm trying to debate if I'm gonna put it in a flip or if I'm just gonna put it with like my kind of best finds. Anyway, so yeah, that was pretty much all of July 6th. And then, sorry guys, I'm trying to flip through the pages and the fan's on. July 4th. So, and then July 7th, a walk and to the park. I can't remember what park we went to. I guess in theory I should say what park we go to. I can't remember. I can't remember what park we went to. Anyway, July 7th, walk to the. Oh yeah, we went back to Game Farm Park because Game Farm Park. What we've been doing is over the last few days is we've been doing the trail, and then in between the trail there's a bridge that leads to the Game Farm Park. So we did that, um, and then we went home because the last time we went to Game Farm Park, well, not the last time, but the time before that, we had gotten 7-Eleven, and we didn't do that on the 7th, but Chris and I was kind of upstairs in my room, and Chris and Mom said they were going to another park, and I decided not to go with them this time. But they ended up bringing back McDonald's, so they brought back McDonald's, and we ate McDonald's while we watched Spider-Man: No Way Home. Um, and then July 8th, we went to a new park in Milton. And then to this day it was kind of gray. Like I don't think it really got much. I don't think it was really sunny at all that day. But yeah, so we went to a new park in Milton and also walked a little bit. And then we went to this little like one of those coffee drive-through places, and got an Italian soda, and and then we went to another park right in front of it in Milton, kind of by that Dave's in Milton place. And then we also stopped at Walgreens because Chris, it's funny that day. Chris was like desperately wanting water. Um, so and on the 8th, this day that I'm talking about, I initially planned on doing the hunt this day, but I was like, I ended up deciding that I was gonna do it at night. I was gonna wait until midnight hit, and the reason why is because a couple days before that, Mom was saying, I think we might do Puyallup on Wednesday. Um, I think we might do Puyallup on, yeah, I think we might do Puyallup on Wednesday. Um, and which obviously wasn't that far away. And so, what I ended up doing was I ended up technically doing the hunt the day that I returned all the coins. Um, but I ended up starting the hunt at midnight, so it could technically be for that day. So if I got any good finds, I could actually like enjoy them the whole day. I did it kind of strategically, and I also decided to do the hunt completely down here because when I did the other hunt with like the silver quarter and the key date buffalo nickel and the old wheat penny and stuff, I initially did want to do that hunt down there, but I ended up doing it upstairs because I think the last hunt or two I did down here. So I wanted to have like a pretty much a full size mixed hunt and do it down here. Now, I will say, so this is technically July 9th now, but I will say the disappointing thing out of over 250 in quarters and 110 in dimes, absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. The only things I got one Canadian dime, and it's funny because I had $100 in machine wrap dimes and two customer wrap rolls, and I got the Canadian dime in the one of two customer wrap rolls, and that's it. No other finds in over $100 in dimes and over $250 in quarters. But and even the nickels were also kind of light on finds, but I did get a silver nickel. So I did get silver in the hunt, so it is going to be its own video. I was really getting bummed though, because we had done the quarters and the dimes, and we had gone most through. And the reason why I was so bummed was, obviously we had gone through the court. I had gone through the quarters and dimes and found nothing, and I found the silver nickel on the last roll. The last roll of nickels that I opened, I found the silver nickel. So I was like so bummed. And then so this was obviously the day that we were gonna go to Puyallup. So we went we so it took a while to find this park, and initially mom wasn't even gonna go. Like initially mom wasn't even gonna go to this park, but we ended up finding it. And it was actually like a really nice park. Like, and it kind of sucked because we didn't actually stay there for that long because there weren't any swings at the playground, and Chris wanted to go. So I don't know. It's definitely one to go back to because it was a really nice park. It was a really nice park. And now that mom has driven there, it's gonna be easier to go back to. The other cool thing though is there were actually raspberry bushes there, and I ate one of them. Not the bush, but one of the raspberries. Um, so, and then we had kind of a stressful moment because I was kind of hungry and thirsty, and Chris was thirsty, and I was kind of joking about like Starbucks, and then obviously Chris caught on, and so he wanted Starbucks, and so we went in the car, and we were pulling into the Starbucks at first, and then and the thing is, this is what happened one of those other days when we were gonna park and get out and go somewhere, and then mom pretended like the parking spaces were too small when they weren't, when she clearly just didn't want to go. And I was and because the thing is, it looked like she was gonna start doing that again, and I was kind of tired of that. So I was like, we can clearly fit in there. And then she like really snapped at us, and we all we all basically stayed quiet. So this is the cool part though, and this is July 9th. This is the cool part. So I thought I was gonna be going to the one in South Hill first, because that's the one that has been stingy even on weekdays. And that's one of those things I'm noticing. I'm noticing, like, I feel like every other time I go to Chase Banks now, it's incredibly stressful. Like, I don't know what it is. I feel like Chase Banks lately have been acting like how they were acting in like 2021. Like, I don't know. I don't know what gives. But it feels like every other time it feels like every time I do a Chase trip, the when I go in there, it is so incredibly stressful. And I also feel like every time I go into the Chase, there's always a problem. Like, they always don't have the amount of they always don't have enough coins of what I'm trying to get. Like, I feel like that's a problem every single time I go to a Chase now. Like, I don't know what gives. But so I asked about half dollars and dollars, and they actually had $100 in halves. Now, a few of them had a Sharpie mark on them. And there was even one yellow roll of some more of the 2026 half dollars, which I didn't keep it. But I think like five of the rolls didn't have any Sharpie mark on them, so I decided to hold on to them, especially because I didn't expect much from the second bank. And I've made the mistake in the past where, like, I've gotten half dollars and dollar coins and hunted them just for the next bank not to have much. So I decided to get them, and I just decided to keep the rolls that didn't have a Sharpie mark on them. Um, I basically I had gotten like five rolls of halves. I got a roll of dollar coins. They did have some loose half dollars and dollar coins. There were no silver in the halves. But I was asking about pennies, and if you remember, this is the bank that gave me pennies that other time, and a couple times, but the last couple times I've gone to this Chase, I've gotten pennies, and even that time in February where I got like $15 in pennies, I was shocked Like, so because the thing is, I was asking about pennies because I was like, I know pennies are kind of a iffy situation right now. So I was like, how many pennies can you do? And she was like, oh yeah, we can do maybe $25. And I thought that she like meant to say something else. Like, I was like, no, she doesn't actually mean $25. Like, does she mean $2.50? Does she mean tw- like I did not think she actually meant that she would be willing to give out 25 pennies. But to my surprise, she wheels her cart out with 5 trays of customer at pennies. And I got $25 in customer at pennies, and they all look okay. Like, none of them look searched, none of them like nothing. I mean, obviously they're all customer app because I'm convinced that all the banks in my area have pretty much completely cycled through all their machine wrap pennies. Like, I don't think they have any machine wrap pennies left to give out. I think they've all been circulated through at this point. Um, so I doubt I'm gonna get more machine wrap pennies from banks again. Um, but yeah, I got $25 in customer at pennies that all looked great. Um, so that was cool also. And then I got $50 in nickels. 10 of the rolls are some of those like ones that kind of look slightly older. And then I think it was 100 in quarters and 50 in dimes. So I was already happy. But I didn't know if mom was still mad. So I was like, is she gonna take me to the second bank now? But I think she felt bad. And I'm starting to, I don't know, it's like one of those things where it's like your impulses really want to be the ones to answer, but I'm realizing like sometimes if mom gets mad and I just don't say anything and I just kind of sit all innocently, that often works to my advantage because I think she felt bad and we ended up going to Starbucks. And then we went to Starbucks, and then we went to the final bank, and like again, it was like it's like the tension in that bank is insane. And I mean, I knew the tension would be high in that bank because this is the bank that's stingy even on a freaking weekday. But I just could not with the tension in that room because it's like I go in there and I ask if they have any half dollars and dollars, and they say they don't really. And I ended up, because obviously I had those fuels of $half that I hunted already that had the marks on them, and I also had like another $100 in my account, so I wanted to deposit them. And so I brought out my 4 rolls after them saying that they didn't have any, asking to deposit, and then I get like a mini heart attack when the teller says, "Oh, we don't do exchanges." And I think she understood that I was just trying to return them. So, and then I kind of tried to ask casually about other denominations, and again, like the tension was so high, I did not want to ask for a crap ton of coins. Um, I think I asked for like 5 rolls of quarters, 5 rolls of nickels, and then 10 rolls of dimes because the only the most amount of dimes that the first bank was willing to give me was like $20, which is only 4 rolls. So I asked for 10 rolls of dimes, but like yeah, I was not willing to ask for more than that because I was just afraid that they would back off completely. So yeah, I have like in quarters, I think it's 150 in quarters. In dimes, I think it's 70. In nickels, it's 60. And all the coins that they gave me at this South Hill branch, it's all machine wrap, but it is all circulated. Um, yeah, so it's 5 rolls of $half, um, 1 roll of dollar coins, some loose halves and dollars. Um, because the second bank had some loose dollar coins, and I decided to just buy those. Um, but yeah, so like 5 rolls of $half, a roll of dollar coins, some loose ones, 115 quarters, 70 in dimes. Um, 60 in nickels, and then 25 in pennies. The second bank didn't have any pennies, which I expected. I mean, most, like 99% of chases are already stingy, so I expected that bank wouldn't give me anything. So, especially after hearing that I was a coin collector. So, I have no idea why that bank is like gatekeeping coins. I don't know what their issue is. Um, like, there's no reason they should be doing that. Um, so yeah, so I was pretty happy because obviously, the pennies, right? And then that was pretty much that day. And then July 10th was pretty much just we grocery shopped and then we sat around. I was hoping she'd go to like Grocery Outlet or Trader Joe's, but we just went to Fred Meyer. Um, and then that was the last thing I updated on. So yesterday, hold on. I think other than the only thing I did yesterday was I ended up going to Hagen because I realized I was out of sodas. So I went to Hagen and I got a bottle of soda for me to drink that day, and while I was there, and then I bought a 2 liter bottle of Pepsi. So the 2 liter bottles, they don't last nearly as long as the boxes of off-brand Coke do, but I don't know. That should last me at least a few days. Hopefully throughout the week. I hope. Um, Hopefully. So, but yeah, other than a trip to Hagen and there being a token and 2 pennies on the top of the Coinstar, which I did do a little clip for, other than that, nothing really happened yesterday. And then, as I said, I explained what happened today. Um, and I think I mentioned all the details you guys need to know about Montreal. Um, about like the 5 hour layover in Atlanta. Um, I do. It's one of those things where I was kind of debating of over the last couple of days of doing the intro one of these days, but it's like I don't really have a rush, but it also wouldn't hurt to do it sooner rather than later. Um, One of the other things that I was kind of like one of the other thoughts that I kind of had in my head. One of the other thoughts in my head about the Montreal trip was I kind of low key in my head wished that this was just like a Long Beach trip or like a Bellingham trip. Like I think it's because it's just I've been thinking a lot about Long Beach and I've been thinking about a lot about Bellingham lately, and obviously Long Beach and Bellingham, we go there more, so I have a more nostalgic feeling for it. So it's one of those things, like, I secretly kind of wish that this was just a Long Beach trip. Also, because it would be more laid back, right? It would be less stress, and especially because I know mom and dad are already, going through a stressful time right now. Um, it's one of those things where like kind of in the back of my head I'm wishing like, oh man, if this could but I also am really excited. Obviously, we haven't flown anywhere since 2023, and I'll get to technically visit 2 new states, and it'll be really nice. It'll be a really I hope it will be a very nice time. Um, and it's also more laid back because obviously, unlike the last time we're going, I think I might have said this already, but obviously, unlike the last time, we're not going for any sort of stressful or sad purpose, right? We're going to enjoy ourselves. Um, Although it's one of those things where it's kind of sad that the only time we have gone to Montreal in the winter was for a not so good occasion, because it would be nice to go to Montreal in the winter just for like a vacay or something. Um, Yeah, other than going to Hagen briefly yesterday, this weekend has pretty much just been laying around, which I've been enjoying. Um, Especially because like over the last couple days, mom and grandma and stuff have have told me that they're going to the park, but they end up always just either going to the one in the neighborhood, and then today they went up to Sunset Park, and I'm like, I don't really want to deal with that. Like, I would go if they're driving somewhere, but um yeah. So I felt really bad for mom today because I've been really feeling really bad for her over these last few days because we've done so much, and she's spent a lot, and I felt really bad for her today because it's like, imagine having an argument with dad that seemed pretty severe, because I mean, mom and dad don't really argue to the point where mom directly telling me that dad was being an asshole. Like, I felt really bad. Like, that happening on your birthday, I could not. Like, So I've just been really feeling bad for her because I know she's stressed, and I know she's stressed about this trip, and I've just been really feeling bad. So, I couldn't really write what pencil I wrote with because I'm using my Trirex jumbo pencil that doesn't have any label on it. I got this in all the way back in 2020 from a purchase that I did from some guy's Etsy page called Ben Pencils. I don't see him around anymore, and I don't really buy stuff on Etsy much anymore. But one of the pencils he sent was this one, and it does not have any branding on it, but it also doesn't look like an advertising pencil. I think I would suspect that this is a J.R. Moon pencil because it has the Trirex. Like, it's triangular, but it also has the ridges instead of corners. So because I think J.R. Moon, I think they're like Musgrave in that they make bulk pencils. Like, this looks like one of those like bulk pencils that you'd order like 120 of. So, but yeah, I don't really know the brand, so I just said jumbo unnamed brand J.R. Moon pencil, maybe J.R. pencil. Cliff Barnes must hate this pencil. Okay. But yeah, so that's what I assume it is. I think it's probably J.R. Moon, or Musgrave. But yeah, so yeah, Chung Hua, Tombow 8900, Murata Wood Tones, Tombow 2058, Palomino Golden Bear Jumbo, Mongol 482, Tombow Mono 100, and then this bad boy. it's harder to write downstairs, so I decided to use a jumbo one because I didn't want to strain my hands as much. So this is the main reason why I didn't want to do one of these videos, is because it really wears my throat out. Because I've been talking for 40 minutes nonstop. So anyway, I don't know what's gonna happen as far as this week goes. I don't think I'm gonna do the hunt next week because I have a couple other coin videos that I can upload. And I also just don't need to do the hunt, especially so soon after I did my last one. So I don't think I'm gonna do the hunt next week. Probably the week after, because I think the week after is no. I think the week after is the second to last week. Yeah. Well, 20 days. So 20 more days would be 10 more days. A little over 2 weeks. Yeah. Oh, so initially I thought we had 20 days, but it's more like 15 or 16 days until we leave. So I don't think I'm going to do the hunt next week unless I like see a good opportunity, or like mom just wants me to, like she wants me to do it. I don't think I'm going to bother doing. I think I'm going to do the hunt. Well, I mean, the only reason why I would consider it is if I want to try to spend the next week trying to see how much Chase can take, because while I do want to have mom take me to another bank or two to return, I do want to see how much the Chase can take throughout. So I kind of don't want to have to don't want to have to like squish the hunt and trying to return some at the Chase and doing the final return all in 1 week. So I don't know. Who knows? I doubt I'm gonna do the hunt next week. And I also don't know what I'm gonna do about the pennies. I definitely am not gonna hunt all of them in a mixed hunt, obviously, but it's one of those things where I'm torn. This is another reason why I kind of want to wait and not do it next week, is because I'm torn about whether I should break them up and like hunt like $10 worth, like and hunt like 10 to $5 to $15 worth in this hunt, and then break them up into separate videos, or since it's $25 that I got all at the same bank, if I should try to do another penny hunt, because obviously penny hunts are going to be few and far between on this channel from now on. So it's like, it's one of those things where I kind of want to take the opportunity, but at the same time, it also would be advantageous to break them up into separate videos. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know the next time I'll really be able to get out to a bank after this hunt. Because after this hunt, and when we get back from Montreal, I wanted to do what I was saying, where finally return everything and buy coins on eBay. So it's like, what's the point in breaking them up, I don't know. I'm still debating about it. But, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to... If I do end up doing the hunt this week, it's going to be on, like, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. It's going to be, like, Friday. I would say. The only other things I can think of... I mean, we're probably going to be doing some walks. Obviously, we're probably going to be doing some summer walks, which we've been doing really well at. We're probably going to end up at the gas station once or twice. The only other thing I can think of is I had been asking Mom if we could go see the He-Man movie in theaters, because, of course, in typical Lauren fashion, she, of course, already saw it in theaters. I don't know, it's like, the more I hear Lauren talk about the stuff she does during the day, the more I'm convinced she's lying about a lot of it. Like, the more I'm convinced she just straight up lies. Like, she just straight up lies about a lot of the stuff she does. Like, when she was talking about working at at the Emerald Queen Casino thing, and two people called her a bitch. I'm convinced, like, no, you're lying about that. Um, I don't know. I'm convinced she's like a pathological liar. I think she lies about a lot of it, especially because I'm that way. So, but yeah, so but it's like I was wanting to go see the He-Man movie in theaters, and we technically still have a movie theater trip from 2024 that we still have not used from like the Christmas advent. So, but here's the annoying thing though, is it's like when I first talked to Mom about that, she was like, "Yeah, we can see it next week," and she sounded like genuine, like we were gonna do it. And then a couple days later, I talked to her about it, and she pretends like she doesn't know what I'm talking about. She pretends like she wasn't just talking about doing it next week, and I can tell it's gonna be a pain to convince her. So anyway, um I'm gonna pretty much end the video. So yeah, talk to you soon.